Hey everybody, this is Munson Steve. Welcome to Star Studio. This is all about the audio files and the audio stories and those visual descriptions that are happening. I'm so proud of this one young brother. He's a true superstar, truly the next thing that is going to continue to move through the innovation and the universe of where we can imagine ourselves being. He's taking us on a true journey. Caleb, what's happening, man?
Chilling, man. How are you? Thank you for coming through. Thank you for having me.
What's it like to be a stunner? You stunted on the Met Gala. You stunted in a what I would call a whole cultural revolution, and now you're taking us into this intersection of Afrofuturism, and it's the summertime, which is makes this so beautiful. And we can now take a journey with you, hear your voice, and you can take us on a journey. Can you tell us what it's like?
Man, I mean, it is a roller coaster. Even for myself, just in my personal life, I'm just growing and like learning, just kind of blessed to be in the position I am in as like career wise, or just even as a person, just like with my family, with myself, with God, and being able to just like be able to express myself through art, fashion, even this audible that we're talking about today, and why I signed on. And just talk about, I guess, Afrofuturism. I guess that is the new thing, right, with Afro beats, but like even just the hard genre and intertwining that, with Sacrilege and Embiri, this African American family going into Africa for the first time, trying to find themselves, and then my character D'Shaun, his name is D'Shaun Wallace, is like this ignorant, bratty teenager that awakens this evil, and then curses his family and awakens this evil spirit, and kind of has to face this like demon. So it's interesting.
That's a beautiful journey. But for all those young admirers and young stars or stars to be who really want to walk with you, what's it like when you're in the room being able to record? And what range of emotions were you able to share and learn of yourself now that you now have this audio journey that you take people through?
For at least for this one was a real stretch, different experience. I've done voiceovers before, but with the audible, it's just voice. It's your viewers, not even your viewers, your listeners are dialed in, and they're just listening to what you have to say. So every word, your tone, your question, statement had to be represented, had to be expressed. I've done other voiceovers where animation kind of helps that expression, and you're seeing the visual, but it's just like, no, you're dialed in and you're listening. So the story, the writing had to be universal, had to make sense. What really drew me to the story as well was just like D'Shaun, he's has like this present day version of himself, like going through the story with his family, his experience within himself and adventure in Africa. But then you have the narrated version that kind of like knows what is and what's gonna happen. And having listeners listen to like the differentiation of like the narrator and the present day version of him, I had to show like the tone, like I had to, even the way the words that he uses is different from the narrated version. So it was like a real experience to like, okay, like going back and forth with Nyasha, the director, to make sure like, okay, are we saying the right words? Is this the right tone for this? Did I make the right breath in this moment? And then he was like, all right, there's gonna be this sound in the background, so you have to say it a second late. You have to say this line a second later. You know what I mean? Making sure the listener was immersed into the story. To answer, I mean, I feel like I answered your question, but to answer it for anybody that wants to do this, I guess it's just like, if you love it, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? If you love it and you believe in artistry and believe in storytelling and talking about nuanced topics in this genre, in this way, in this fictional like horrific way, it's fun.
Your last question, what has it been like to paint your life in art in the ways that you've grown into being a artist and a painter of life and the images that you're projecting into the universe now?
It's been so growing up, it was more like I had a dream when I was sleeping, and I'm like, okay, I dreamt I was flying. Now I'm gonna go outside and try to jump off this tree and fly. And I never did that. Don't do this, kids. But I remember up till like I was 15, I had like this Captain America shield, and I had this Batman mask, and I thought I was like a superhero, and I made it up. You know what I mean? And I was 15 doing that, and I felt that like, that's what storytelling is. I was telling a story through just my life, and that's how I feel now. Like, I just feel like these are just stories I'm having fun with and telling it through my life. I think it's just, now I'm in a different stage right now in my life where I'm in my 20s, early 20s. Haven't been much of an I've been a legal adult since I was 18, but I consider it like 21, right? I haven't been like that for so long, but like I feel like I'm growing and my experiences are changing. I'm traveling the world. I'm meeting different people, and I'm like, there's so many different stories out here, and there's so many different ways we can tell it. I think it's wonderful as long as it's about. I think we all create in our own ways, and I guess I chose it through. I chose that way of expressing myself through like film, TV, theater, and music.
Lastly, one reason to listen to this book that you want people to follow you and just hear this art, because it is art to
Yes.
actually give an audio book and give it life. Main reason for people to check it out so that they can have some great summer listening to and just
Yeah.
listen and follow Caleb as he continues to share with us his gifts.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I say there's so much to take away from it. It's a love story. It's a horror. It's a drama. It's a lot of gems in there, and also it's just a great, wonderful, like emotional experience. But one thing I can say is, in life we always try to find the answer to something, right? But like we're living life, we're always trying to control something. We're trying to know, like I want to know what that is. Then you end up knowing it, but then there's always something else to know. And we have to realize like sometimes you have to learn how to be at peace with just like not knowing because you're not there's so many different things in the world. There's so many different things to know. And I think that's what's beautiful about life. We're always like trying to find something, we're always trying to be better than we were the day before or create something and get to the next level, but there's always a different level. And I just say like you just have to kind of get to that point where you have to be at peace with like where you are at in your life, and like you're gonna have to face your fears sometimes, your traumas, or and you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be sad. And I think with the Embiri, that's what it kind of represents, like that facing that trauma, facing your demons, just facing the unknown and being okay with it sometimes.
Cool. Caleb, it's amazing that you talked about Captain America. Obviously, we've seen a black Captain America all of a sudden.
Yes.
You talked about Hara and your brothers over there, obviously older brothers, Brian and our dear brother Create Sinners. And literally,
Yes.
you got a whole movement of you guys killing the game. Thanks for the Afrofuturism. We're very proud of you here on Rolling Out and Star Studio. And say the name of the book again so everybody knows.
Sacrilege, Curse of the Embiri.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful, wonderful time. We're very super proud of you. My daughter's crazy about you, Sky, so she really thinks you're amazing.
Oh, tell her I said thank you so much. Send her my love.
Peace.